No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, everybody. Happy groundbreaking day, right? Woo! Yeah! Let's stand and sing our first song. Yeah!
This is who we are, and we feel the love whenever we're together. This is why we're here, to serve the world and one another. We're being called to find a higher way, and to remember why we're here today, to love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. This is where we grow and find the truth that always sets us free. And this is where we play and enjoy like-minded company, a place where we can share our joy and pain, a place where everybody knows your name as we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And in remembering to love and serve, we're transforming lives that transform the world. When we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And remember who we are. And remember who we are. Woo!
Good morning, everyone. Boy, what a buzz. Don't you love it? Good morning, everyone who is watching online today. You are with us in spirit, and hoping that somehow through the airwaves you're picking up on this incredible energy of joy and excitement here today at Uni Renaissance as we prepare for our groundbreaking. I'm just so excited. I jumped out of bed this morning like it was Christmas morning. I was like, oh my gosh, it's really, really happening. So we'll talk more, of course, later about all that. We're going to start by doing church, however. And we have a service here. And just to kind of give you a heads up on how we're going to go about that, we've sort of trimmed it up a little bit, so it'll be a little bit shorter service today. Move some things around, you'll notice that, so that we can get out to the grounds there and have our groundbreaking ceremony. Hopefully have about 15 minutes for that after the service is over. So welcome, everyone. Gosh, your blue looks so great today. Look at that. I love it. Love the teal, yellow, orange. Those are turning point colors. This really is a turning point for us today. Well, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower Jesus, as well as other spiritual masters, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. And here at Unity, from that beautiful consciousness of love, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And every one of you, each and every one of you, is an expression of God. And each and every one of you watching online today is an expression of God. We know that when we realize that about ourselves and we tune in to that beautiful innate divinity that is the truth of who we are, when we behold that light in one another, that it just grows and grows and it shines out ever more brightly to light up the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Yes. Let's begin our time together this morning in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes and breathe in deeply into this beautiful energy of oneness, this beautiful spirit that we feel the presence of so mightily here at Unity Renaissance. Today in particular, we're grateful for this place, for the consciousness that we share. We are newly reminded of the importance of a consciousness of oneness and love and peace. We hold in our hearts today the people of El Paso, Texas, the people of Dayton, Ohio, both of whom within the last 24 hours have had the tragic occurrence of mass shootings in their communities. Here at Unity, we stand for a better day and a better way. We take this time to send a wave of prayer and love out to all those who've been affected by these shootings and indeed all of the unnecessary killings that have occurred in the past, knowing that when this recurs, it reignites those old wounds, even within us, as we stand with Virginia Beach strong. We send out prayers of love and comfort. And we also send prayers to our elected leaders today, prayers for their divine guidance, to move in the direction of unity rather than divisiveness, to take courageous stands that provide for a more peaceful environment here, to be willing to stand for reasonable gun control, mental health services, whatever it takes, to make this a world that works for all so that we live together in peace. And for this truth, and for our commitment to being the change and sharing this vision in ever-broadening ways, we're so grateful. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Today we know that anything is possible. Let's all stand.
What's your dream that sometimes seems impossible? Let the voices fade that tell you it's improbable, and hold on to what you love. Hold on to what you dream of, and you will be unstoppable. Anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible
invite you to join me now in that spirit of great possibilities as we turn to greet our neighbors with a bow, a handshake, or a hug. Please join me in our divinity salute. The divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
And again, every week I have to say, thank you, music team. What would we do without them? And of course, today of all days, that song, Anything is Possible, was not, that just did not happen, you know. That was a plan. So anyway, I want to say thanks to everybody here who is a part of this whole project, from when you gave your first $5 to if you worked on any one of the teams. And I would say a special thank you to the facilities team who have worked on this for more hours than you can possibly imagine, through thick and thin. And my name is Star Janecki, and I'm honored to be your host today. And with all that service for the facilities group and every one of you who've been a part of this from the very beginning planning, how does that segue into our word for today, service? Yes. So our word for today is service. And I'm going to ask you to join together as we read today's affirmation. I look for opportunities to serve. I make a point of developing my spiritual life. I read and study. I pray and meditate, and I am part of a spiritual community. But spiritual understanding doesn't count much unless I put it into action. So I look for ways to serve. Any act of kindness is a form of service. It might be volunteering to help the poor, but it could also be mowing a neighbor's lawn, or letting someone ahead in the grocery line, or carpooling with children. Service ranges from full-time caregiving to something as simple as listening. Anything I do to make it a little easier for someone else, I do, and I see opportunities to serve as soon as I look for them. They are everywhere. Service is a spiritual practice. Like good stewards of the manifold grace of God, serve one another with whatever gift each of you has received. And our reading is based on this 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. After the service and after the ceremony, I am assured by the prayer chaplains, they will be available to pray with you over your challenges and celebrations. They can be found in the narthex or through the narthex to the chapel. Just enter the chapel, and they will be available for your prayer support. Okay. I'm going to ask them to stand so that you can recognize them. Yes, Lisa and Grace will be there for you. Okay, here we go. Music team.
Tomorrow you'll find another way. It's just a game. One day you're up, the next you're down. Just go ahead and play another round. It's just a game, and it goes on and on and on and on.
This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same. This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same.
The wheel will spin, the dice will roll. As long as you don't let it take your soul. Say to yourself, if you lose control, it's just a game. Then I woke up and you were there. A dream came true from out of nowhere. And I'm so glad you're in my life. And life goes on and on. This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same. This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays. Love is all that matters in the long run. Love is all we leave here when we're done. How you gonna make a difference till you realize life when it's all said and done? Goes on and
This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same. This life is a crazy, crazy, crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same. This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same. This life is a crazy game. Nothing ever stays the same.
Heather Shook joining us on that.
How many of you remember doing dot-to-dot pictures when you were a kid? You know, the ones where you connect the dots? It looks like this. He's right at home there in the ocean. Well, I used to love these pictures because as you connected the dots, the picture would just magically appear and the whole page would suddenly make sense, right? Well, when you think about it, childhood is really all about connecting the dots. And it's about making sense of the world around us, kind of putting the pieces together. And so we learn mobility, we learn language, we learn colors and numbers and cause and effect and so much more. So my granddaughter Vivian, who is now age 2, has figured out that if you push a button, something will happen. She doesn't really care what will happen, She just knows that if she pushes a button, whether on the TV remote or a computer or your iPhone, that something will happen. And more than likely, she will also get a little bit of a reaction from somebody in the room. Well, of course, eventually she'll figure out what connects to what. And she'll come to understand why mommy or daddy or grandmommy may not want that particular button pushed just then. But she's figuring it all out. And this is really what we mean when we say childhood is about connecting the dots. It's like filling in our picture of how life works and who we are and how it all fits together. That we connect these dots to kind of give us a framework for it, and then as we grow older, we begin to develop stories, right? We begin to develop the story of our lives. And it becomes more and more filled in and more sort of a part of us as we get older. And so at the very core of our story may be love or loss. It may be blessing or hardship. It may be triumph, or it could be tragedy, or some combination of all of these things. But the point is that as we adopt our story, as we continue to tell it, we invest more in it, and it tends to become solidified. And if we aren't careful, we too become solidified. We forget that this story that we tell about ourselves or about others or about life is just something that we made up based on our own experience and our limited perception. We may even cling to our story out of a need to be right. We may be attached to elements of it. And so in the process, we kind of become more rigid. We start to lose our curiosity and our fluidity and our open-heartedness. Well, at such times, we would do well to remember what Jesus says in Matthew 18:3. When he says, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." You see, children live in that sort of free-flowing state of joy, do they not? And ironically, for us to return and live like little children, we need to kind of go back to the beginning. We actually need to disconnect the dots. And so this is what Dean Slider offers up in his book, The Zen Commandments. We've been studying for these 5 weeks. Today we conclude the series on this. And he offers up as the 9th of his 10 suggestions for a life of inner freedom, disconnect the dots. Well, disconnect the dots simply means that we begin to break down our sort of solidified concepts and ideas. We begin to open our awareness, broaden our view. We become more aware of the bigger picture, if you will. I like to think of it as sort of shifting the focus, so we're not fixated on the relative that's right in front of our eyes, but we keep this awareness of the allness of God and the many ways in which God shows up in all and as all. So we learn to disconnect the dots so that we can go back to that sort of wide open state of wonder that we experienced as children. And really, this is what Jesus is talking about, and it's what we as adults long for. We long for that sense of freedom. You look at a child, don't you, and think, wow, it'd be so great to just have that sense of abandonment and joy, and not abandonment, abandon, and joy. But we crave it as adults. And here's what Dean Slider says. He says, we so crave this freedom that if we don't know how to disconnect our own dots internally through awareness practice, we intuitively seek some external method, even if it's temporary, like drugs, booze, head-banging music. I don't know exactly what that is. Sounds painful. Whatever. And movies with bigger and louder explosions are some popular favorites. Ways to escape, ways to kind of go back to a sense of sort of letting go. Well, he offers us in this book, as we've been studying, 10 suggestions for a life of inner freedom that are actually doing inner work to find that freedom, and they're actually healthy and they're good for us. So today, let's review what we've discussed over these past few weeks. So the first one that he mentions is rest in openness. Remember, we talked about being in that great field of awareness, taking yourself out of the immediate situation to sort of breathe in and immerse yourself in the presence of God. Next, act with kindness. Act with kindness. When we are kind to others, we in turn reap the benefits. Next, notice the moment. So much in present moment awareness. We can go deeply into that awareness and truly connect with the presence of God. Next, recognize our teachers. Remember how we talked about how everything is our teacher, even and perhaps especially the difficult times, the challenges, the hardships. Next, keep it simple. Simplify on the outside, simplify on the inside, and we talked about simplifying our relationships through the simple act of being kind to one another. Makes life so much simpler. Be devoted. Decide what it is in your life that really speaks to your heart. Maybe Unity Renaissance. Speaks to your heart, something that really lights you up, and be devoted to that. You see, we're here to bring it all, to give it all to that which matters most to us. No appointment, no disappointment. So this is last Sunday we talked about this letting go of expectations. Right? Staying in the free flow, not expecting people to be a certain way, not necessarily expecting ourselves to be a certain way. Staying open. And blessing everyone. The importance of blessing everyone, whether you agree with them or not, whether they look like you or not, whatever their background, just bless them. Just bless them. Send them a blessing for happiness, that they may be free from suffering. Next, disconnect the dots. And the final one is, be a mensch and enjoy the joke. Now, actually, when you think of it, all of these really are about disconnecting the dots, right? Sort of taking apart the framework or the structures in our lives so that we can simply be. And that last one, so be a mensch, enjoy the joke. So what is a mensch? So a mensch is, some of you may know this. A mensch is someone who is trustworthy and dependable and honorable. It's someone who is service-oriented and compassionate and considerate. Someone who takes initiative and cares about others. A simple analogy would be that a mensch is somebody that holds onto their candy wrapper till they get to the trash can, and they change the roll of toilet paper when it needs to be changed. They turn off their high beams when they're out driving and coming up to another car, and they don't block the passing lane. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? So mensches, they also are very in touch with their own humanity. They accept their humanity and they live by the adage, I may not be perfect, but parts of me are excellent. Right? And they don't whine and they don't complain and they don't blame other people for their problems. So we could all do well to live and to be like mensches. And then it says, enjoy the joke. So what's the joke? The joke is that none of us get out of this life alive, that everything comes and goes, everything passes, even the things that are dearest to us, the things we cling to, the mountains that we make out of molehills, all of it comes and goes. It is temporary. We may invest a tremendous amount of energy in this reality that we've created, but the truth is that there's a much greater reality of which that is a part that actually changes the context when we see from that point of view. Dean Slider says this: the entire drama of our life and our world, everything that seems so crucially important, is like a dream that eventually evaporates along with the dreamer. If there's nothing after this world, then we vanish into such oblivion that it's as if it all never happened. If there is a next world or a next life, then what seemed like the whole story is part of a much bigger picture. Either way, our worries are blown out of proportion. Of course, we believe there are lives after this life and try to remember that larger context. So knowing this, knowing there's always more to the story than we know, that there's a bigger picture, we can lighten up. Or as Lama Surya Das says, we can enlighten up. Enlighten up. Because the fact is that the more enlightened you become, the more you will laugh. And the more you laugh, the more enlightened you will become. Have you ever noticed, I've always noticed how those Tibetan Buddhist monks, they giggle a lot. You ever notice how much they giggle? Yeah, I think of them as being really, really enlightened. So this last Zen commandment basically says, make sure you laugh every day.
Yay, we can do that.
And Rima will lead us. Make sure you laugh every day, including and especially on those days when it seems like there is nothing to laugh about. And I love what Dean Slider says. He says to the effect of, I don't think that Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha attracted all their followers because they were sourpusses. I think they were all fun to be around. I do too, right? Fun to be around. And so laughter is a part of this. It's part of our joy for living. And actually, laughter is not only good for our spirit and good for our soul, it's good for our bodies. It's good for our health. So when we laugh, we actually create all these endorphins in our bodies. They are natural tranquilizers. They are natural pain blockers and immune cells. And as we laugh, I thought this was really interesting. You're going to love this. 20 seconds of laughter provides a cardiovascular workout equivalent to 3 minutes, oh, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? 3 minutes of strenuous exercise. 20 seconds of laughter equivalent to 3 minutes of strenuous cardiovascular exercise. Yeah, right, so this is a big day. You have a new cardiovascular workout, you have a new workout regimen. You're just going to laugh it up. Because truly, laughter is the best medicine. So he says that, Dean Slider says, enjoy the joke, and I like to say enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. Just so often we just forget to enjoy our lives. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy the love that we share. And really enjoy just kind of the free, wide openness of life. And from this, we learn from the children in this regard, too. We can learn so much from them. And so today I brought along a little video to show you. And you may have seen it on Facebook. I want to thank Jennifer Gray for providing it for us. But it just shows a girl who is completely immersed in her joy and in the process is sharing it with us.
There's revival in the spreading, like a wildfire in my heart. Sunday morning, hallelujah, and this lasting all week long. Can you hear it? It's the real gospel song. Oh, won't you choose it? You can roll it. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. I got a sweet salvation in my soul. I got a heart overflowing with joy. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Valley that I wander, just a mountain I can't climb. Oh, you are with me, never leave me. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. I got a sweet salvation and a miracle. I got a heart overflowing from a victory soul. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy.
Well, let's live like that little girl, shall we? So today, as we break ground on this momentous expansion, honestly, I could just hardly believe it's really happening. It's such an exciting, exciting day, such a beautiful day, momentous, meaningful day. as we break ground on this expansion that will better serve our children, that will better support this community and future communities, let's remember to enlighten up and enjoy the journey. You know, along the way, I'm sure in construction projects, it always happens. There are going to be some ups and downs. But let's enjoy the ride. You know, it's all God. And it's all good. And this is just such a beautiful, exciting time for Unity Renaissance. So let's enjoy that. And may we remember to stay in the flow and to be guided by Spirit and to be grateful, so grateful that we're here to be a part of this. I know that I am. Thank you. Let's turn now to our meditation. I invite you to become comfortable in your seats. Take a deep breath in, breathing out. Feeling the beautiful blessings of this day washing over you. Feeling how right and perfect it is for you to be right here, right now, in this sacred sanctuary. I invite you to take a moment to appreciate your own life's journey, the ways in which you have connected the dots, all that has come your way, all that has been your teacher. And for these few moments, let go into God. Let go into the infinite. Feel this loving presence blessing you, cheering you on, reassuring you, giving you peace. Know that all is well, and all will be well. I invite you to breathe into this knowing, breathe into this oneness for a few moments in the silence. We're so grateful to be together on this day, to see the long-held vision of expansion coming into manifestation. We're so grateful for this dream that has been held for so long here at Unity Renaissance. We call it all good, and we give thanks that this expansion truly signifies an expansion of our work in the world and our consciousness. And for this, for the blessings of being of service and being devoted, we're so grateful. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
And now is the time in our service when we'd like to welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high. Holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1, 2, or 3. We have a gift for you. If you're here for the first time today, ushers, you've got some bags to bring forward. Sweet. Got one way in the back, a couple here on the second row, a few over here. Be patient, they'll get to you. If you're here for the first time, there's a little card in that bag. Fill it out, take it into the bookstore, and you get a free CD, a copy of a previous service. If you're here for the second time today, somebody back there for the second time today, you get 2 CDs, one of positive, uplifting music from Power Music and Arts, the other of Sacred Unity Recordings. And when you come back for the third time, you get a copy of our daily devotional, The Daily Word. So we have a few over here. Elise? Amy. She's got you. She'll be right there. Beautiful. Right here on the second row, dear. Thank you. Welcome. We're glad to see you here. I look forward to seeing you again and again. Okay.
Okay. And you notice we're having a little bit of a different service today. Things are in a different order, so there's a shortening up and an elimination occasionally, but we've still done the wonderful church, and thank you for our enjoying the ride.
Sure.
This has been a ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Today is, we're continuing on with our outreach for gathering up school supplies, and that ends next week. So please bring your items in, and we are supporting Thurgood Marshall Elementary School, our adopted school.
Hey, we're celebrating abundance today and all the abundance of gifts and prosperity that have made this dream come true. So we think it's time to sort of sharpen up our prosperity consciousness, or I should say expand our prosperity consciousness. Richard's going to be leading the brand spanking new Prosperity Plus 3 program that is out from Reverend Mary Morrissey, getting rave reviews, really just providing those tools to kind of amp up your prosperity and live a more successful and full life. So that starts on September 4th. It'll be for 7 Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., and we'll be providing more details about that. But Richard will be out in the narthex after the groundbreaking ceremony to take sign-ups for that. If you're interested, you can find out more there.
Okay, and next Saturday, the 10th, you're invited to Stand Up for Humanity, and that will be a session that is in Washington, D.C., in front of the reflecting pool of the Lincoln Memorial, and that is sponsored by Unity Worldwide, and the speakers will be Michael Beckwith, Marianne Williamson, and Reverend Donna Johnson, who is the president
President and CEO of
Yes,
Unity Worldwide Ministries. Unity Washington, D.C., this is their 3rd year doing it. It's going to be a particularly big event this year, so if you can make it, I encourage you to do so. Also want to mention our teens are going to sponsor a dance, dessert, and talent night coming up on August the 16th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. So it's an opportunity to share your talent, enjoy some great community. It's not just for the young folks. They're sponsoring it as a fundraiser for their Y.O.U. rally, but all are invited. And I know you all have talents to share. So sign up on the hall wall after the service today for whatever you would like to do.
And
Go ahead.
oh, more?
No.
Okay, and if you don't have a talent that you want to share, you can dance. So, and you don't want to miss our picnic next Sunday. Bring your lunch, and we'll provide lemonade and iced tea and watermelon and desserts. So invite your family and friends, and please sign up on the hall wall so we know how much we need to have available. We don't want to run out.
Yeah, and Reverend Richard will be speaking next Sunday, so we'll be excited to hear from him. So with that, I'd like to invite up our wonderful board president, Valerie Winters, Ed Rosequist, who is our Facilities Improvement Committee team lead, and just to have a few words here, then we're going to do the love offering, there'll be time to go outside.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Valerie Winters, I'm the board president. This is Ed Rosequist. He's been headlining the facilities committee to get everything ready to build this wonderful expansion out there. I just want to thank all of you for your dedication and support and your generosity in funding everything so far and your continued support in getting us to this point. We're standing on sacred ground that Reverend Judi Meyer came out here with. Ed was, I think, one of the original members with her. And it was just a blank lot, and she envisioned this building that we're in now, an education wing that we're getting ready to break ground for this morning, for our children and for the rest of us to use. And we are so excited that all of you are here today to support us. Our board is complete.
Welcome back, Amber McCullough.
Amber is here. So if you haven't had a chance to see her, just be gentle. Please have a chance to say hi to her, and our kids are going to be out there to help us with the groundbreaking as well. And thank you again so much for your support, and we are so excited to break ground this morning. Ed?
Yeah, and I just want to bring up the fact that we've had an invincible Facilities Improvement Committee working for the Board of Trustees, and it's been great to be working with them, and we've been really striving to drive down the $1.3 million that we prescribed that we were going to basically allot for this project. And right now, we feel like we're below that target now with Y.O.U construction, and we're ready to get started on that effort. There's a lot to continue to go on, but I really want to recognize the Facilities Improvement Committee that's been working so hard, and that includes Star, Janicki, it includes John Kidd, Jan Schonborn. Jan, thanks for all your help. Jim Hudson's here today, also part of the board. Ellen Jones is here, been helping with lighting. Lee Pennypacker, also part of the board, Paul Meacham, and of course, Reverend Paula. But I also want to recognize the people that are not part of this congregation that's been really instrumental in making this happen. And, you know, if a couple of them are here today, I hope. But in the end, we need to bless these people because they've brought their talents and contributed to what this is going to look like in our future. Our two architects have been Jack Althouse and John Covington. Our site engineer is Rodney Flores. Rodney, are you here? Said he was going to be here maybe a little bit later. Our Y.O.U construction rep is here, and he's out in the cool narthex out there. Adam Ritt with his wife, and it's just awesome. I mean, Adam's just been incredible, and we really look forward to having Todd Williams, who was the site manager inside here. He will then now be our new site manager out on the property as we make this expansion. I want to continue to talk about, you know, this church is debt-free, and that's huge. And this construction project is going to be almost debt-free, and we'll work through that. So your Turning Point dollars continue to manifest just an incredible spiritual center, a spiritual home that is ours. And I want to thank you for that. I look forward to the coming days when Adam coordinates with Atlantic Construction, who will be our site team, to start digging up basically the asphalt out there, getting the curbs, and the biggest piece, and I'll show you up on the wall that has all the drawings if you want to bug me after this, of how we have to reroute the stormwater drain around the outside of the church and actually make this a big, you know, basically something that's very capable and provides us expansion in our future as well. This is going to have some significant parking lot implications, and you all probably have seen that today with the parking lot as we close off this section of the parking lot. So please, if you've got good wheels, you know, legs, park over in the office complex over there and start making it a regular kind of come across. It's a nice walk in the morning, and it's great. But we also see demo continuing in the inside here. All this side of the building is going to get demoed, so all the bathrooms, all the classrooms, the nursery, the kitchen all goes away, and we're going to start jackhammering up concrete and modifying those. So that's 1,500 square feet inside. Then we got 5,100 square feet that we're adding on. So 5,100 square feet's a lot of, you know, that's a couple of houses, and really look forward to getting that going. Again, the big long pole, and Adam keeps telling me, is, you know, getting the steel ordered. So all the structural steel has to get ordered and fabricated. That's an 8 to 10 week process. So in the interim, we're going to be digging and putting in new pipe and stormwater. We're going to be getting the trees, you know, basically cleaned out for the new construction site areas. But really what we're going to get after is probably around October, you'll actually start seeing extra concrete going in, and then, you know, basically as we get the steel on site and actually start fabricating the building, it's going to be huge. So thank you. You know, there's still plenty to prepare and figure out, and we will keep you up to date on, you know, what it looks like and how we're going to do this effort. But as we talked about, Right, yeah, I know. I love you guys too. You know, Reverend Judi started this process, and it really affects me for what it meant to me in my life. And I look forward to be your representative as the project manager here on this site and this project to expand into the next being next week. So thank you.
That's devotion. So I don't have very much to add to that other than my heart is just overflowing with gratitude today. You know, we have everything going for us. This is a phenomenal congregation. It's a phenomenal spiritual center, and it always has been. So thank you for making it so. Truly, it's your consciousness that is bringing this into fruition, and of course, your contributions. And on that front, I do want to mention, for those of you who are new to Unity Renaissance, we're not a part of our Turning Point campaign a year ago. You still have the opportunity to give to this campaign to kind of get in the flow of it. You can give a one-time gift. You can make a pledge over the next 2 years. We have a new pledge card we've designed. It's out there on the welcome desk. Go ahead and pick it up, take it home, pray over it, see what is yours to give. And if you want to make a one-time contribution, you can put it in the basket out there. But every little bit helps. And thank you. Thank you all so very, very much. With that, we're going to now invite our love offering for the operations of this center. And today, rather than passing the basket around, we're just going to invite you to take your offering and give it to the ushers at the doors as you're headed out for the groundbreaking. And there'll be a couple of line leaders who will lead you outside to make a few circles out there, and we'll have our ceremony and take it from there. But at this point, I invite you to hold your love offering in your hand. Remember, if you would like to give via your phone, you can do so by texting the word give to 540-418-1228. So let's hold our gifts in our hands right now, really feeling the blessings of this day, this community, this growth, all of it. Please join me now in our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. We'll file out from the back forward. So those in the back row, go ahead and stand. And you give your love offering to the ushers and then follow the line leaders outside. Thank you all. Whew.
Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Just might have a problem, and you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Just call me when you need a friend. Call me. What's your dream? That sometimes is impossible, and the voices say that tell you it's improbable. And hold on to what you love. Hold on to what you dream of, and you will be possible. Believe, believe. What's your dream that sometimes seems illogical? When you try and fall, your dream can feel intangible. And stand up, try again, stand up and carry on. Your dream will become visible. Anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible. Do you believe? Anything is possible. Believe, believe. Hey, I believe. Hey, I believe. Hey, I believe that I am unstoppable, because anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible. Do you believe? Anything is possible. Believe, believe, believe.
Right into break ground.
Take us, Faith.
Do you want to talk? You want to say something? No. Okay.
Take up your spike.
What is?
Take out thine spade.
I don't know how to turn
What's
the
the word?
output down.
Okay, good.
Sound is that?
I would like to feature Heather Shook on this song. Take up your spade and break ground, baby.
The sun is up, a new day is before you. The sun is up, wake your sleepy soul. Sun is up, hold on to what is yours. Take up your spade and break ground. Break ground. Shake off your shoes. Yesterday behind you. Shake off your shoes, but forget not where you've been. Shake off your shoes. Forgive and be forgiven. Take up your spade and break ground. Break ground. Break ground. Give thanks for all that you've been given. Give thanks for who you can become. Give thanks for each moment and every crumb. Take up your spade and break ground. Break ground.
You can sing that with us. time. Everybody all together. Heather Schick.
Hey, I just want to take a moment to introduce some special guests that we have with us today. Adam Britt, are you here? There he is. You see that guy there? He's going to make our dreams come true. Adam is from Hoy Construction, doing a beautiful job. We're so happy to be partnering with you. Thank you for coming out today. Rodney Flores over here. Raise your hand, Rodney. He's our civil engineer, done a beautiful job getting our plans just perfect. We're excited to be going forward with you. We also have Debbie Ritter here today from the city of Chesapeake. She's a city council member. Debbie, where are you? Back there? Come on out here. She's also on the board of the Elizabeth River Project, so we get a double bonus. We're just so happy that you could come out today. Did you want to say something?
If I could. Sure. It's a pleasure to be here today. Hi, Rodney. I've known Rodney since he worked for the city many years ago, before I dyed my hair. I want to tell you all, Mayor West would very much like to have been here today. But like the rest of you, this is his week with his family, and his far-flung children have come home for the weekend. So he wanted me to give you his very best regards and to convey to you the feeling that we all have, that in a city like this, we pride ourselves in the inclusion of the faith community. And whatever we can do to join with you, because we all know government cannot do everything, but it's these kinds of partnerships that make us such a strong city. I so enjoyed sitting in your service today, full of joy and laughter, and the message to take those out and embrace wherever you may be. Hopefully you are part of our community here in Chesapeake. I love your t-shirts. I do, and I think there isn't a time that many of us can remember where unity is more important, regardless of our background, of our faith, of what we do every day, because in the final analysis, we're all in this life together. So I have to, Reverend, congratulate you all on your partnership with our Elizabeth River Project. Sometimes outreaches aren't seen, but I can tell you as a longtime board member of that wonderful organization that for you to be recognized 3 years in a row is a tremendous accomplishment. Thank you. And you'll, I'm sure, be recognized again for all the stormwater improvements you're doing to help improve the environment in which we all live, and especially the children that you're bringing. Congratulations on your expansion. The growth of churches, I think, is important to the growth of a healthy city. And we congratulate you. I hope you will invite us all back when you're done, or during the process.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So as we add an education wing and so much more, certainly the children are front and center with what this is all about. And so I'd like to invite our children to come up. They're going to be the first ones to break ground for us today. So come on up here, kids. Future generations of Unity Renaissance congregants.
Our youth have a message for you. 3.
Our Y.O.U has a song that they'd like to sing for us and with us. You want to come forward? If you still have your bulletin with you, the words to this song are on the back of your bulletin.
All right, hi everyone. So we're the Y.O.U. We're the high school grades of Unity. So we're gonna be singing a song that we do at our fall at our rallies. So it's called Sanctuary. So if you guys know it, you guys can join us.
The lyrics are also on the back of your program.
Yes. So if you guys want to look at the lyrics, then you guys can sing with us. You guys can step closer because we don't need the lyrics ourselves. All right, 1, 2, 3. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving will be a living sanctuary for you. Let's teach the children to stop the fighting, start uniting, live as one. Let's get together, love each forever, sanctuary for you.
So let's just take a moment to appreciate that we are standing on holy ground. Here on Eden Way, of course. And so today marks the beginning of a very exciting new chapter for our community, for the larger community, and indeed for the world, as we grow into new ways to serve and to be the change. I'd like to invite up Ed Rosequist and Valerie Winters as we now have the adult turning of a shovel of dirt for our groundbreaking.
The golden shovel. Woo.
Again, I want to bless those that have helped. Again, Rodney, thanks so much. Adam, thanks so much. FIC team, thanks so much. We also need to bless all the hands that are going to be working here. They're really important people that are going to make a true difference for our family and support us. So, Adam, Rodney, thank you. Adam, carry back to Todd and everybody how much we appreciate all those people that are going to use their smarts and their intellect, but their hands to build us just an incredible place. So let's bless this place and really hold fast to what it means to us and how wonderful it is. So amen. Thank you.
just want to mention that that shovel is the same shovel that was used to break ground on the original building here. I want to give special thanks to Robert Coffin for restoring it for us. This guy right back here. So great. Hey, is Lisa Smith here? I don't know. There you are. So one of the aspects of this project is that we will need to remove some trees. And so we wanted to take a moment just to bless. What's that? Oh, I thought you were yelling at me. Come on up, Lisa. So we want to really appreciate the trees and the ways that they have served us in the past, and to acknowledge the sacrifice that they are making as a part of this project. So Lisa's going to read a quick poem for us. I'll have a blessing after that.
Today we approach the trees that will be taken down with this prayer of blessing and gratitude. We ask your forgiveness as we love you and let you go. We are making these changes to better serve our youth, our community, and the world. We appreciate your spirit and give thanks for your sacrifice. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet blowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
So just for you to know that we will be working to replace as many of the trees as possible. And these two dogwoods, Ed Bradley has already told me that we've taken cuttings and we've replaced the two that were immediately taken down here. So really appreciate that from our green team. At this time, I'd like to invite our Y.O.U to pass out a little packet, so that everyone should get a little packet of mustard seeds. There's great significance to this. When Reverend Judith Meyer, when they broke ground on the first building, she had a little jar of mustard seeds, reminding us that if you have faith as much as a mustard seed, you can move mountains, and in our case, we can create an incredible new expansion of our facility. So I invite you to take these home with you. You'll see that there are 3 seeds in each of the little packets. One of those seeds is for you to have faith in yourself, to let that be a seed of what's possible for you personally. The second one is a seed for what's possible for this community, to have faith in this community as I do, as I absolutely know this is going to be an amazing fulfillment of a dream. And the third one is for you to have faith in God, to keep your faith and spirit no matter what ups and downs may come your way, or be a part of our project, or anything at all happening in our world. So these are your mustard seeds to keep and to take home and to nurture your faith. And I guess they'll be passing those out for a little while here, but what I'd like to do is go ahead and have us, if possible, join hands for our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Before we do that, hey, I just want to give a very special shout out to someone watching online today, Charlie Bowman, who celebrated his 77th birthday yesterday. And I just want to share that Charlie has held this vision even before we were really holding this vision. He came into this community, was a board member, and he really encouraged us to go for it from the very beginning. So Charlie, we love you, we bless you, we miss you, and we send you all our love. And with that, let's join together now for our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. The kids will be going back inside after the peace song, so you adults can collect your children there. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Stick around for a hot dog lunch from our minister.
Hot dog lunches. Hey, we have a purse up here that was left in the sanctuary. This little brown bag. Come get it. Not the right key, is it? Amen. 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 That's good. I started in the wrong key, that one. Should be.